Okay, icebreaker activity. How do you feel today? We haven't seen each other since um last year. We haven't had this call since last year. So how do you feel today? What's the one word that describes how you feel today? You can use the chat box or unmute and talk, or you do both. So you can decide, I just want to put it in the chat box, or you want to unmute and talk and also put it in the chat box. So yeah. So how do you feel today? What's the one word that describes how you feel? Oh, Molly says she's feeling wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I feel hopeful. I think that hopeful.
Alors, bonjour à tous.
Bonjour.
I was just checking for those who are speaking English, French. So,
Okay. I don't think they're in the chat room yet. I'm looking at the list of participants. We still have, except Marie-Therese, but we still have English speakers.
great, let me know.
Okay.
Oh, people are feeling wonderful, delighted, grateful, happy,
Optimistic.
rested. Optimistic. Ah, Betty.
Oh, Chad, you feel rested. Okay.
Yeah, rested. Wow.
Happy. I like happy. There's a lot of positive in the box. There's a whole lot of positive in the box. Super cool. Okay, Godfrey, we need you to give us some of that. I need super cool. I really do need it. Grateful. Good, great. Okay, okay. Okay. So a little bit of housekeeping. I'm checking the list. Okay, bien, Marie-Therese, bien. It's good, 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 good. A little bit of housekeeping. We have French translation, and if you click, just a minute, let's see. No, no, housekeeping. Good. So if you are an English speaker, select English to always hear the English on the channel. If you speak French, yes, you select French and you would hear French channel. Also, if you speak English, please mute the original audio if you're on the English channel, if you're using the English channel. If not, you would be hearing both. So that's that. Okay. Wonderful. Now we can introduce ourselves. My name is Nana Wachuku. If this is your first time coming to this call, you can see my face. Can you see my face? Say something, unmute yourself. Our calls are usually unmuted except when we have a presentation. My name is Nana Wachuku. I'm the community of practice coordinator. I'm sorry. Je m'appelle Nana. Je suis la coordinatrice pour communauté de la pratique. Yep. So this is me introducing myself in English and in French. Okay. Some people have introduced themselves in the chat. Feel free to unmute yourself. Yes. Thank you, Molly. That
You can take me off. I mean, that otter off. Oh,
I will do that.
I have tried so hard.
I will do that.
Get them off. You were able to take it off?
I would, yes, I should be able to take it up. I am trying
So much.
to
I've
do.
done everything. I don't know how to get them off of me.
It
Oh,
is a problem.
I have written, I have called, I have tried I've seen IT.
Yeah, but I think it has fallen off now. It's gone.
Okay.
But I have two or few, and I don't know which one is the author.
Utter is to, oh my gosh, Molly Melching to everyone.
Yeah,
Well, how can they do that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Molly, I'm just going to ask you to step in for me for a minute. Let me get Francesca on the phone.
Okay,
Yes.
so, hi, everyone.
Hi, Molly.
I think that Francesca was traveling because she wrote me earlier and said, I think she was in a car and she may have been held up in traffic. So I don't know if people would like to.
Molly, can you put on your video? We like to see you.
All right, no problem. Did you want to try to do something, Nana? Do you want to try to start something, or maybe people could just say a few words?
Yes, I would like people to talk about, how they feel, how they're doing, introduce themselves, a few people. It'd be nice. If this is your first time of joining the call, it'd be helpful to do that before we delve into the issue of today. We usually do that for the first 15 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
but we're almost there. So 5 more minutes. Anyone who wants to do that.
Hi, Molly. Nice seeing you again. Kola here. So good to be here.
Oh, Kola. Oh my goodness. I don't see you on the,
Yeah.
there you are. Wow, it's been a long time, Kola. Welcome.
Yes,
Oh my
Molly.
gosh.
How you doing? And I can see what Jiro on the call also.
So nice to see you. Wow. Someone else?
Hi, Molly.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, Molly.
Is that
This is
Joshua?
Lamin Fadi.
Lamin.
Lamin Fadi.
Okay.
Yes, how are you?
Good. How are you, Lamin?
Fine, thank you, man.
How are you? How are things in the Gambia?
Well, managing, is it going?
Is it going?
Yes, man.
Hi, Molly.
Thank you for having me on board.
Who's that? Imus?
Hello. Hi, yes,
Hello,
yes.
hello everyone. This is Joshua Malunga from Malawi.
Oh, hi, Joshua.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Hope you're
Hi,
doing well
Malunga.
in Malawi. That seems so far away.
Even we are
Hi.
hit by a dry spell.
Oh no, so sorry.
Sure.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We have a lot of dust these days here in Senegal.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Hi,
Bridget,
everyone.
you want to go ahead
I am
and introduce
Hi,
yourself?
Molly. Good to see
Hi, Malunga.
you.
Nice to see you. Wow, so nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm
How are
happy
you?
to
How
see
are
you.
things?
Very well,
Can you
thank you.
introduce yourself to people that may not know you?
Okay, my name is Bridget Osakwe, and I work for 1FP Nigeria. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Joshua, you didn't say, you're from Malawi, but you didn't say where you're working. You might want to say that, and then.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm working with a community forum organization.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Nubraj,
Okay.
oh my goodness, there's Nubraj. Oh my God.
Hello, good morning.
How are
Good
you?
afternoon.
Calling from Nepal. Oh, wow.
Hi. Namaste. Namaste, everybody.
Nice to see you. It's been so
Namaste,
long.
everybody.
Great to see you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Keita.
Oh, thank you. So I am Mustafa Keita. I'm joining all the way from Sierra Leone, and I'm working with Center for Advocacy and Sustainable Empowerment as a program and communication manager. Pleased to be here.
Good to see you, Keita. How is Madam Rassi doing? Is she getting better?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
I was there yesterday. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. We're about to start now. We have our
Okay,
moderator
just
for the
wait a
day. We have our moderator for the day, Francesca Monetti. Thank you very much, Francesca, for making it despite your very hectic schedule. So I'm just going to hand over the microphone to you. So over to you, Francesca. You're muted though. You're muted, so you have to mute.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to see you all in such great numbers. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Great to see you. This is our first call of the year, and we have a wonderful year ahead of us, and we've had a wonderful year behind us where we've built so much and exchanged so much and made this community really progress together. So it's really wonderful to be together. I think you were doing introductions. So if anyone hasn't introduced themselves already, please go ahead.
Oh, I think I
have
didn't, but I introduced in the chat.
myself.
So my name is Amos Leuka from Kenya. I work with LCCA. Thank you.
Great.
May I?
Please. Nubraj, go ahead.
My name is Nubraj Bhandari. I'm from Nepal. I work with Chanik Women Awareness Society, and I'm working as a program director and researcher of the organization. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let me give a little bit of an introduction to today's meeting. As you know, the theme is Synergizing Strategies for Collective Impact, enhancing organizational collaboration within the COP, so within our community. And as I was saying before, we've come a long way already, and we have defined a thematic priority for 2024, which is nonviolent social transformation through youth engagement. It's a wonderful theme because it brings together the nonviolence, the peace, which is so central to everything we do, but also the increased focus on youth. And we'd like to devote this meeting, since it's the first of the year, to basically building on how we've exchanged in the past year, what has worked well in terms of learning from each other, what has worked well in terms of putting together collaborations to work on themes for supporting communities, and then also identify if there are things where we could improve over the course of this coming year. Is that okay with everyone? Have you had a chance to look at the agenda? Are there any comments before we delve in? I'm not seeing any hands raised. I'm not seeing any comments yet. So I think perhaps the best place to begin is to review among ourselves the thematic priority. And I will ask Nana to just remind us what the content of that thematic priority is and how we reached the agreement on that priority. Nana, can I pass it over back to you?
Thank you very much, Francesca. Just to put some, background to this, the community of practice is supported by an advisory group. And in November, the advisory group had a meeting and looked at what we had done for the year, what we're planning to do with the year going forward, and the general theme for what to focus on or what to enhance is the nonviolent social transformation. And the bulk of the work that is being done by people within the community focuses around engaging young people either in education, in healthcare, sexual health and reproductive rights, community building in different ways. And we are looking at how the possibility or looking at the different ways we are sharing what we are learning and the other ways we are learning what each other is doing, how we're doing it, and how we are applying the fundamental principles and key aspects of community-led approach to the work that we do. And we are looking at how can we best support each other this year? How can we work together, either as a group or as country groups? What is the best way? And in doing that, the advisory group came up with working groups. And these working groups were, there were 7 working groups that would support the different spaces of learning and sharing. And today we want to be able to discuss how we are going to, what we've done on our own. Tell us, let's learn, let's share with each other, and then let's come up with ideas, let's come up with thoughts on how we can best work together as a group. So yeah, over to you, Francesca. Any comments, thoughts? I have dropped the community call agenda in English and French in the chat box. So if you didn't look at it when I sent it over earlier, you have the opportunity to take a quick glance at it now. Thank you. Francesca.
So just for those of you who haven't had a chance to look at the agenda, we will start by focusing on our strategic alignment along the lines that Nana just mentioned. That's the objective really of the call, together with identifying the best practices in sharing and mutual learning to date and how we can do even better during the course of this year. And also explore, as Nana just said, initial ideas on enhanced collaboration around the thematic priority of nonviolent social transformation through youth engagement. So to kick it off, of course, this is your time. So I'm going to speak as little as possible because this is really a platform for all of us, all of you in particular, to share with each other and with us. And so I would like to call on, I believe it's Nathaniel, who so generously offered to share his experience and our experience with us on the sharing and learning of the last year. And so I would like to kick it off by giving the floor to Nathaniel to begin the discussion on what are the good ways in which we're sharing that we can build on. Nathaniel, can I pass you the mic?
He's having challenges joining.
Oh, okay. Do we have other volunteers that wish to contribute and share what they found to be useful ways during the course of the past year in which we did sharing and mutual learning that we can continue to build on. Concrete examples that you engaged in last year? I don't want to necessarily pick on names, but I know that there are.
I think we can ask Wanjiru.
I was just looking at my
Here,
name.
yes.
I know she has things to share. Wanjiru, can we volunteer you in?
Oh, sorry, I have Mr. Nathaniel on the phone, so he wants to share from here. Let's hope we can hear him.
Okay, so
So, yep, can you hear Francesca?
Nathaniel, can you hear me? I'm sure we can hear you if you speak.
I can hear you.
Slowly.
I can hear you very clearly. Yes, I can.
Yes, and we hear you also. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry, my connections are quite poor. Today is even better than yesterday. Yesterday, MTN and Airtel calls were difficult. I don't know whether it's only in my part of Nigeria. It's a little better today, but connections are still quite poor. So sorry, but I'm happy that Nana could let me join through her connection. Thank you.
Okay, so Francesca, you can repeat your question to him and he would.
Nathaniel, we were just getting into the sharing and going through experiences last year, examples last year that worked well in terms of the sharing and mutual learning within the community. And so we were hoping to just get some of those on the table, remind us of what were the good ways in which we worked, and then build on them for the coming year. And we were hoping that you would start us off with an example or more than one example of how specifically you worked with other members of the community of practice to enhance your own work and their work. Over to you.
Sorry, his network is still poor, but yeah, he's back. Yes, are you back?
I'm here. Yeah, sorry, the network went up suddenly.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm waiting for the question. It didn't come through. I didn't get any audio at all.
I'm sorry. So Francesca is asking, right? Based on what are the best practices of learning and sharing from your experience that happened last year with you and other community members? What can you share with us to kick us off our conversation?
Thank you very much. So you're asking learnings from the summit. That's what you mean?
From your experience working with other community members last year.
Oh, last year. Okay, sorry. I was looking at the summit. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I work with a number of individuals and organizations, and the experiences were not the same for everybody, but all equally interesting, very interesting. For the organizations that are community-based, that was mainly in the Benue area of Nigeria. For those who need an introduction, Benue State is located in the north-central zone of Nigeria. And Benue State since about 2015 has been on the list of the second most attacked and most terrorized state in Nigeria after the northeastern part of Nigeria. Because since 2011, that's the state which has 23 local governments, has had 21 of the local governments in that state attacked, with a number of people, households suffering displacement, some of them displaced more than once. So out of 23 local governments, only 2 did not suffer direct impact of the protracted violent conflicts involving transhuman herders and settled farming communities. So for communities based in Benue State whom I interacted with last year, there were lots of concerns about addressing a situation that had defied every attempt to address. But I observed an openness of spirit, and I'm talking about a little more than 20 organizations, community-based organizations, all of which have benefited from TOSTAN directly and indirectly. Directly because they benefited from the step-down trainings after we left the TOSTAN 21-day training at the TOSTAN Training Center. And apart from the step-down trainings, a number of them have also been involved in engaging in advocacy at different levels. The openness to try something different, especially in the face of several attempts to change their circumstance that failed, was something that we found refreshing. So that provided opportunities to co-create solutions, co-create new ways to addressing difficult situations. That openness to co-creation attempts were opportunities that allowed us to work on difficult challenges. But we benefited wonderfully from the in-depth experience of one of our colleagues who had also been with us in JAWS. I'm talking about that's not a name.
Madam
that should
Aji?
be going up. No, not Aji, the one based in JAWS.
Jumai.
Madam Jumai.
Sorry?
Jumai.
Jumai, I keep calling her by a different pet name, so I didn't want to call that name in a formal meeting. So yes, we worked together also for the trainings directly. We were supported by Guthrie and supported by Dan. But then Jumai remained, she's still, a member of that community because she's on that platform from time to time, sharing her thoughts, sharing her experience, sharing how they are approaching the issues in JOS, where she's based. And so that was the first thing, that openness. But beyond that, one of the participants had been a deputy director in the ministry, and by the last quarter of 2023, she became the director of women affairs in the state. And having been a part of the TOSTAN community in the state, she sees herself as having a community that is already there for her, available for her. And she reaches out individually to members quite freely and easily to ask questions, to seek opinions, to ask how to address new issues now that she's in a new environment, office environment particularly. So, and some of the sharings on the Ifewa community we have, the TOSTAN community, and the other ones from time to time, we would copy that and share with the Benue community too, and they found all of that very exciting. So I'm sorry, I didn't ask how much time I have to speak.
You're rounding up.
Let me come in.
So
I don't want to cut you off, but
what I could say, and then the opportunity of meeting at the regional conference at Chess offered. From my end, I found it to be an opportunity to refresh the experience with colleagues after working separately for some time and sharing experience, particularly informally, but also during the formal sessions that we had, brought a number of things together. And, one found that, we had been separated by space, but we continue to address issues in the same way that we had learned, which to me shows to me that what we learn at Chess becomes a part of us, and it's not something we're in a hurry to leave off.
Let me pick up on that last point, Nathaniel, because I think I'll take the floor back. I just want to underline one wonderful thing that you said, which is that the learning is in a way what we all learn together and what we are applying as much as possible in our own programs. That's giving us a sense of common identity. And I think that's a really beautiful concept, because you've also mentioned it in a way indirectly again when you were speaking of all the various organizations that benefited from the step down seminars that you did in Nigeria, and how the participants kind of connect thanks to that joint experience that they had, where they find themselves kind of around the themes that were the themes of the sharing and mutual learning at YES, or in the case of the step down seminar. So this sense of common purpose, of common identity, which kind of breaks down barriers, right? And enables people to interact with each other more and more freely, to explore, to co-create. I think that's an amazingly wonderful theme. And I'm really glad to hear you speak in this way. And I'm sure that others also feel the same. But please, if you'd like to take one more minute to conclude, and then we can hear also from others. Thank you, Nathaniel.
Yes, so I think what I will say in addition is that opportunities to, from time to time, address some particular issues with colleagues, and they too having to share from their successes, their challenging moments, their new discoveries. Actually, is something I will encourage that we'll continue to do, because it keeps refreshing what we have learned over time, and it keeps bringing it back, bringing it forward to us, so that it continues to be a new experience for all of us. I think that's one thing that I will encourage, because I have found it quite useful. I found it quite useful during the past year. Thank you very much.
No, it is us who thank you, Nathaniel, for sharing both the highlights of some of the sharing and learning, and also your own insights. And I believe that we have Mustafa Keita with us, and I'd like to pass the mic over to you, Mustafa, for also sharing some of your highlights of experience that you thought were particularly fruitful in the sharing and mutual learning, and any insights. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. Of course, I am Mustafa Keita, and I'm the Program and Communication Manager working with Center for Advocacy and Sustainable Empowerment, all the way from Sierra Leone. Of course, Toaster learning actually offered us a lot of opportunities to actually learn and try new things we never knew before. And this was good. And through the help of Global Fund for Children, couple of organizations, including ours, who are part of a cohort called Salib, we are supported to actually learn from Tostan. We used to call it Tostan Initiative. So, but later it was actually deemed fit to call it community-led initiative, which is actually what it is. And so we, after the training, we maintain a group called Salib, where we actually share idea on our different work in different communities, because regardless the approach, every community has their own reality, contexts are different. And of course, within organizations, it also depends how they want to customize some of those learning experience in the communities. And so just after the Tostan, we attempted to experiment the community-led initiative, and it worked well. You know, as a result of the experimentation, we were able to actually also connect with one another to know what worked well in one community and what didn't work well in another community. And so this was very good. And of course, we introduced this approach in the two communities we're working, and it's been fruitful, you know, onto this moment. And so we're able to actually develop the community vision, for which they are currently using as a blueprint to their own development. And so we have experienced change of behavior as a result of this community-led initiative in a situation where women now work with men. This is something that never used to happen in the community, because we live in a society that is predominantly culturally friendly. And of course, we always tell them to keep the good part of the culture, but the negative ones should be critically be viewed and see what they can do, especially things that has to do with female genital cutting. This is something that is quite predominant in most of the communities we are working, but they've reflected and have known how disastrous that aspect is on the well-being of, you know, the children, I mean the adolescents and the community. Infrastructure-wise, we have seen communities, those communities we are working in, they have been able to develop, to build community schools and community halls where they meet. This is also as a result of what we do. It comes from them directly, that you taught us that we can do things for ourselves. Community initiative like agriculture, like that communal labor, this is something they never used to do. Every individual person just want to do things on their own. So, but the initiative actually helps the community to do communal labor, to work together as one, and of course, push some certain kind of initiative. We've been able to also introduce microloan, which will help their agricultural work and small petty businesses they are doing. Quite recently, I was opportune to do a documentary, a documentary on the impact of the community-led initiative. And of course, from all the organizations that I visited, that I collected footages, they are all giving positive results from the beneficiaries and the organization. So the collaboration has been so well, particularly in the Salib, because we share idea in the group based on, you know, what we learned from Tostan, and these collaboration has actually helped. And quite recently, we are also fortunate to receive Nana from Tostan, who came and, you know, we had a convening, who came and shared with us some of, some learning from Tostan, and that was very good. And we are also able to mobilize a few adolescents and youth to participate in a well-being summit you organized in Senegal, and that was so uplifting, and that was so good because it shaped the minds of those young people who attended. So I don't want to hold your time too much. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share.
Mustafa, that was a wonderful, wonderful recounting of many, many things that you were able to put together in less than 5 minutes. So congratulations to you for really sharing with us. There are a number of things that really caught my attention. One was at the beginning when you spoke about the fact that since there were a number of organizations that are connected to Global Fund for Children that followed the seminars at Tostan, that you continued in a sort of subgroup, if I could call it that, a sub-community of practice or a specific subcomponent, a chapter. You continued the interactions with each other and specifically experimented some of the things, including the visioning and others that you had learned and appreciated from the seminars. And then you gave a lot of very positive results that came out of that experimentation and that application on the ground with communities. And so it's wonderful to hear both things, both that you have in a way kind of strengthened your own network, that's connected to the Global Fund for Children, by giving it this purpose of the community-led initiative, which is fantastic, and that you've done these things together, and that you are now not only as individual organizations, but as a group of connected organizations have something to share that is bigger than what any one single organization could do, because you've already shared with each other, experimented together, thought about what was working well, what was working less well, why, etc. And I'll tell you one thing, Mustafa, it would be really interesting to see the documentary that you spoke about. I don't know if it's for public sharing, but I got very curious to know what's in the documentary and to see the impact that you spoke about. So if that is shareable, please do share. Thank you again. And I think we have, Nana just wrote in the chat that we do have the video, so fantastic. I wasn't aware that we had it, so I'm going to look at it as soon as possible after this call. Can I pass the floor, Wanjiro? I hope you can hear us now. I hope your connection is stable now. I wonder if you could come in next.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Hi everyone, good morning, depending on where you're calling in from. My name is Wanjiro Wahome. I'm the Executive Director of Samburu Girls Foundation, working way up in Northern Kenya. And I'm proud to say that I'm a Tostan alumni. And please allow me, Francisca and Nana, to talk more of what recently happened. Just like, I think a week ago, we Tostan, in partnership with SHOFCO, that is Shining Hope for Communities. It's an NGO based in Kenya, but with a presence in over 25 counties. You can call them counties or states, depending on where you're coming from. And for the very first time in Kenya, we had the opportunity to have a Tostan partnering directly with a national NGO. And I was so excited to be selected as one of the co-facilitators through the mentorship and coaching through Godfrey. And it was me, Willie Kista, and Tony. We happened to be in the same class with Tony. And it was more of catching up and taking stock of what we've been able to go through the Tostan model. So we met an amazing group. That happened in Kakamega. It's like almost 8 hours drive from Nairobi. It was a little bit far from us who were coming from far. So the purpose of the training was to see how we could be able to meet their county executive team for Kakamega. So SHOFCO runs a network called the SUN, which means SHOFCO Urban Network. So they brought in participants, like almost 20 of them. And what we did is we were trying to introduce the Tostan model to them. And what intrigued me is amongst the participants, we had the youngest, 24 years old. and the youngest at heart was over 64 years old. So you could tell that there was more of, we didn't know how we could be able to approach them, but it synced in so well. Like basics of how we did the training in terms of the context, like the sitting arrangement. These are things that really intrigued them, especially through the introduction. It was amazing to see they didn't even know each other well, and it came out so well that they were so excited to know. They were all sharing some similarities in terms of some never got to complete school. Some were so passionate in terms of seeing the communities move to the next level. And even when being a co-facilitator and also a participant, it was more of a refresher course for me, because remember, we did our training way back in 2020. And now meeting a team, and now you're being there as a co-facilitator. Every time Godfrey would mention a few things about Tostan, I was like, oh, did we ever cover that in class? Or so I was more of, as much as I was a co-facilitator, I was more of a participant. And this shows that Tostan, how it keeps on evolving and also learning new things every time. And one of the takeouts now when we were doing in terms of an evaluation to see what really intrigued them, you could feel that they felt like they've not been handling the communities well, especially on the visioning process. They were so intrigued, even them coming out and sharing like the same values. And taking you back is immediately we left Tostan like 4 years ago. We always had a passion of how can we make this model come to Kenya and be able to implement it way of at a national level, because it's something that we had already done when we came back home in our individual organizations. And I'm telling you, it has been very helpful even in terms of how we approach our activities and our strategies in the community. Now, again, rolling out this just a week ago to this amazing team in Kakamega through SHOFCO. It was mind-blowing for me. Even the feedback that we were getting, you could imagine we were supposed to start sessions at 9 a.m. in the morning, and they would be ready in time from 8:30. And by the time we'd say that now it's time to go rest in the evening, they were like, oh, it's like we still want to hear more. So, and even when we asked them, so what are the things that you feel like you would go and start implementing when you get back home through your community? And we were so excited as the facilitators, them sharing of how they would be able even to sit down and get to know more about their communities, what makes them happy, even the sitting arrangement, even exploring their personal values and all that. And for us, it was a wake-up call. Actually went back home and went back to the organization knowing that, wow, Tostan is a movement, and especially the model. And if this is a group of county executive team members and some who are way above 60s, and they could sit down and be serious and take notes and even follow us after. I remember joking with Godfrey, I'm like, are you giving out assignments or what is going on? Because each and every session after, we would have people flowing in and they're like, how do you think we can be able to do this in our community? Do you think it's workable? For me, Francesca, this was amazing. And what came out is also talking to the executive team at SHOFCO. They were so excited and they were like, it looks like it sounds so basic, but it really makes sense, in terms of on the content that we gave them for the 5 days training. And by the time we were all living there, both as co-facilitators and the team as well, we felt so re-energized. They were so excited and so looking forward. And one of the things I would want to follow through is just even to visit them now at the community level and see how are they able to carry out meetings, how are they able to lead the community for transformation. And it was for me, I feel like I went to Senegal for 5 days and came back because the sessions, honestly, it was more of a refresher course for me. But something so sad happened, and we thought maybe we would be able to continue having the conversations on the group, but maybe we will. Unfortunately, we lost one of our very supportive and so keen members. She was 64 years old. Well, by the time we were checking out on Saturday, she went home and went to attend to, I think, a church function. And she was very active on the group that day. I remember she was the last one who posted at 6 p.m. But on Sunday morning, unfortunately, we lost her. She died. It's so unfortunate, but anytime, I think it left a mark in my heart that that lady enjoyed her 5 days of her last days in this world because of the kind of information. And she was so excited. She was like, I would really want to roll out this to my group members and to see how can we be able to build synergy in these communities to see change. She was so passionate in terms of girls' education, you know, and women economic empowerment. So my takeaway home was and I remember her name was Fanny, and she kept on saying, if we could all live in harmony as a community, let's continue loving on each other. May her soul rest in peace. It's something that really caught our heart, and we were so sad because she was full of life and she was so amazing. She could take notes every time. That tells you how hungry they were for information. And I was like, what if we would be able to roll it out in terms of allow more in Kenya and see how can we be able to partner more even with other organizations and see can we be able to instill, you know, the true values and taking it slow in terms of language, in terms of them having sharing the same values, you know, it would be so interesting. And now, lastly, the most interesting thing, when we gave them an assignment for them to name their village, I'm just wondering what you're guessing what their village name was. They came up with the name Santos. Santos meaning Shofco Urban Network and Toaston. And every time we would greet them and tell them, you know, because when you say sun to them, it means power to the people. And now when we said Toaston, it was more of they would all shout. They had already mastered it. In terms of dignifying for all, you could tell in terms of attention, you know, these are not people that you'd keep on looking for them in terms of, oh, who is late? They would all be in time. Yeah, so for sure, if you're all in here and maybe you've been doubting where is this community of practice of community well-being heading on to, trust me, you've heard it from me, and also I can see my mentor here, Godfrey. This is a huge movement, and with the kind of work we did in Kakamega, trust me, it's going to take to go places. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And Molly, keep on doing this. At least now you can be able to see your legacies living through us. We might not be meeting every time, but trust me, there's a lot that we can all be able to do when we all come together. Thank you, Francisca.
Thank you so much, Wanjiro. Thank you for also bringing us the insights of wonderful people who unfortunately are no longer with us, but continue and will continue for a long time to inspire us and many of the people that she touched. So condolences and wonderful to hear the insights and know of the passion that will continue through all of us. I'm going to just do a very quick summary of some of the things, some of the points you made, Wanjiro, because the French translation isn't coming in very loud. And Marie-Thérèse has some problems following. So I'm just going to do a very quick summary in French. Marie-Thérèse, vous m'entendez bien, j'espère. Wanjiro a partagé avec nous l'expérience très récente du séminaire qu'ils ont fait au Kenya avec une organisation qui s'appelle SHOFCO, qui travaille surtout dans la santé. Et c'était organisé par Tostan. Godfrey, que tout le monde connaît, était le lead trainer. Et Wanjiro, ensemble avec d'autres qui ont participé dans le passé dans le séminaire, était co-facilitatrice. Elle nous a décrit une expérience vraiment, vraiment superbe, soit du point de vue des participants bon, enfin, nous l'avons aussi tous expérimenté. Ils ont énormément aimé le séminaire. Ils étaient très intéressés surtout pour la partie sur la vision, la division communautaire, et aussi sur comment on interagit d'une façon encore plus productive et constructive avec les communautés. Elle nous a partagé aussi que le fait d'être co-facilitatrice l'a aidé à reprendre les thématiques qu'elle avait appris quand elle a fait le séminaire. Elle a aussi vu que certaines des choses ont été développées davantage depuis qu'elle a suivi le séminaire en 2020. Elle nous a aussi dit que les participants ont décidé sur le nom de leur communauté. En fait, ils ont mis ensemble les noms de Shofko et Tostan, et on a trouvé un nom qui met les deux ensemble. Bon, je vais maintenant, j'espère que ça aide à partager avec les francophones. I'm going to now switch back to English, and I had seen Lamine Fati had raised a hand, so I'd like to just see Lamine, if you'd like to come in on something. Lamine Fati?
Hello.
Yes, Lamine, you had raised your hand.
Yes, I just want to see maybe one few things. Having benefited from a 10 days training I think in August last year. And for me, having attended that, it's more like a game changer. Over the 20 years that I've been working, I think the approach is more like a very unique approach that has not only changed the way we work, but equally also to inform the content we use for our community engagement. So after the training, I think what really happened between what we do, what we have done, so far so good. Because when you look at where I work, it's more like a consortium of about 36 different organizations that work around the issue of child protection. And it's almost in 3 regions in the country. One thing that I've done when I came back, I remember we were working on trying to develop IEC materials on child marriage and FGMC. So what some of the wording that we were used to as we are more like a custom to using words like fight against this barbaric or inhuman degrading treatment. The first thing I did was to let's just scrap it all and then use more community approachable information than words that we think that would actually be seen as condemning societal norms and values that are already within the society. So this helps a lot in terms of, you want to develop more like an appropriate information on that regard. And again, at the national level, because for me, the approach is not only having it to be centered around what we do as an entity, but equally, I think it's of a national approach in what we do, especially in the fight against, especially in addressing the issue of FGC or FGM. Because Gambia is actually having kind of like a peculiar state. Looking at what we are currently dealing with is the fact that, yes, this is a country that has already had a law that banned female genital mutilation or cutting. But again, crucially, what is really happening now is the fact that the issue of repealing that law is high on the agenda at the National Assembly. So now you are within two elements. What do? Do we concentrate more on the law, or do we concentrate more on community empowerment so that the community will be able to appreciate and understand what are some of the complications when it comes to use of FGC? So because of that, we feel like, okay, can we concentrate more on the Tostan model? And the Tostan model, what we have done so far, so good. It's just like last week, we were busy drafting what we call a national training manual on sexual and gender-based violence for Ministry of Health. Because currently the Gambia government is having a World Bank project for Sub-Saharan Africa for women empowerment and girls. So part of the model that we use, we tend to incorporate this Tostan community empowerment approach, especially when it comes to looking at community norms and values. We have also worked on developing the national strategy and policy on FGC and child marriage. Again, that was quite interesting during the development of that process. I remember being called the new Tostan ambassador. Most of the things that we're trying to incorporate in the policy, also in terms of the implementation strategy, is only greatly informed by the Tostan approach. So basically, that seems like the Tostan approach is now taking center stage when it comes to dealing with communities and children. We are also doing, trying to mainstream at our level, we are trying to mainstream the Tostan approach in our engagement, especially in the communities, because at the level of the communities, we work with what we call the community child protection committees. These are of different stakeholders within the community that we train and we develop their capacity so that they serve as watchdog, but also to do capacities or step down awareness raising activities in the community. And this has greatly helped that now the community is not looking at more how do we talk about the law, not also trying to see how do we empower the community? How do we ensure that the community is empowered to the level that they are able to do what we call community visioning around the issue of child protection? And we were also able to do a step-down training for some of the Alliance members. And I was quite impressed that it's like the entire membership, participants also were in that training. Feel like, the best way we could do, I think we just need to concentrate around how do we empower, how do we use this approach to ensure that we are able to make a greater impact with the Tostan approach. So for me, I think, yes, this definitely, having attended this is a game changer for me. It has empowered the ideas, my approach around how do we basically work around more effectively with the community than trying to use an approach that we are, because most of the time when you look at our intervention with community, it's purely more kind of like we impose, we have our ideas, we go and talk to the community. But this one is now telling you, can you integrate the community perspective around issues affecting them? Can you allow them to identify the issues? Can you allow them to see the ways in which they will be able to work hand in glove with you to ensure that this specific issue is being addressed together rather than you condemning them, rather than you imposing them? Because I know during the time of the training period at CHES, you realize that one of the discussions we had is the issue of why project fails. But because we don't want to have everything on project based, we want to see that projects are sustainable within community, and the best approach we could have done, you couldn't have better than the community empowerment approach of Tostan. So this is just few things that I want to share. And again, currently I am working I'm currently developing the work plan for this 2025. And most of the trainings that we are going to do with the community is to take a whole holistic approach with the inclusion of the Tostan empowerment, community empowerment initiative to see how actually would that able to work around. Even though the law maybe there's high tendency that the law might be repealed. But again, what is more important for us is not only about the law, it's about how communities will understand and appreciate and ensure that at the end of the day, these practices that we term as harmful to the well-being of children actually being minimized, or to the extent that we feel like, community tend to take an ownership to ensure that it doesn't happen. So this is just a few that I want to share with the group, and thank you for giving the opportunity.
Lamin, thank you so much for the sharing. I was very impressed by your focus on the work with communities, and at the same time working with each other within the alliance through the step downs, through determining with each other the best way to move forward. I think it's really, again, by working together, we're doing better and more than any one organization could do on its own. We're working with you gave examples of how you're working better with the communities, working with each other so that you all can be working better with communities, and in many ways also influence, in your case, in your context, potentially the government laws, or in this case, preventing the repeal of a law. So it really brings a lot of the pieces together into a synergy that really gives us tremendous encouragement that we are moving forward, we are growing. Others also said that this is a movement. Wanjiru said it, others said it, that this is growing, and it's that sense of growth and accomplishment that motivates and creates even greater energy. So thank you very much, Lamine. And I see Marie-Thérèse has her hand up, and I think after that, Kola also wanted to share something. Marie-Thérèse, allez-y, vous avez le micro si vous voulez intervenir.
Merci beaucoup. C'était pas une question, comme j'avais des difficultés pour suivre, mais ensuite je me suis rattrapée un peu sur les dernières interventions. J'avais l'impression qu'on était dans le partage d'expériences par rapport à le plus qu'on a eu dans notre travail après la formation, avec les communautés de bonnes pratiques qu'on a formées ensemble après notre formation sur l'approche de Tostan. C'est ça.
C'est ça, mais en même temps,
Oui.
ce qu'on avait souhaité, c'est aussi de partager comment entre nous, à l'interne de, disons, à travers la communauté de pratique dont nous sommes membres, comment nous avons partagé l'un avec l'autre et le groupe pour faire, disons, grandir, si vous voulez, le groupe tout ensemble et vraiment progresser ensemble. Donc, il y a bien sûr certains qui ont partagé des exemples sur comment ils ont travaillé dans les communautés, mais ici, on voulait aussi vraiment explorer ensemble comment, entre nous, nous avons bien travaillé pour le partage, pour vraiment améliorer nous aider à améliorer l'un l'autre à travers le partage et pas seulement le travail dans les communautés. Merci.
Merci. Je crois que c'est très intéressant, effectivement, cette approche, parce que si je commence d'abord par l'amélioration professionnelle, au-delà de l'impact que nous avons avec une accélération des efforts que nous menons au niveau communautaire, je crois qu'après la formation, cela nous a permis d'avoir une vue d'ensemble et de pouvoir gagner en temps et en effort pour amener les communautés à aller vers vers l'abandon des mariages d'enfants, vers l'abandon des mutilations génitales féminines. Et l'autre point aussi qui est très important, c'est que nous, en tant que professionnels, ça nous permet lors des panels, quand nous avons la possibilité de discuter avec d'autres personnes qui sont soit au niveau de la recherche, soit au niveau de l'activisme individuel, de parler de cette approche et de les aider à mettre l'accent sur les points essentiels. Par exemple, je prends l'engagement de l'autorité religieuse, comment il est important pour nous d'impliquer les religieux jusqu'à les amener à porter les messages. Nous, au niveau du Sénégal, déjà sur notre plan d'action sur les mariages d'enfants, j'ai eu à utiliser les connaissances acquises pour renforcer l'impact des religieux quand il nous a fallu mettre l'accent sur l'élaboration d'un argumentaire religieux pour l'abandon des mariages d'enfants et surtout amener les religieux à maintenant en parler en public, dans les communautés, dans les panels au niveau national, lors des événements spéciaux, lors des rencontres avec les autorités. Aussi sur le plan professionnel aussi, lors des cours que nous avons je donne des cours à des professionnels et dans la masculinité positive, on parle de la masculinité positive comme quelque chose qui est nouveau, alors qu'on se rend compte que en réalité, tout ce qu'on a fait sur les transformations de genre, ça a été porté par des hommes et je prends l'exemple du vieux Demba Diawara. On l'a perdu cette année. Nous avons eu la chance de le connaître avant qu'il ne soit parti. Mais je crois qu'en revenant sur cette histoire de l'abandon des mutilations génitales féminines, la lutte contre les mariages d'enfants, en voyant ces hommes qui ont osé en parler à des moments quand même assez difficiles et pouvoir parler de ces hommes à d'autres femmes, d'autres activistes qui ne les connaissent pas, ça renforce aussi le fait que la masculinité positive n'est pas une thématique aussi nouvelle qu'on le pense. Ça a été mis en exergue, ça a été appliqué et quand même, peut-être c'est maintenant valorisé, mais ce sont des approches qui ont porté leurs fruits et ce serait intéressant en tout cas de comprendre qu'en réalité, beaucoup d'approches qui ont eu des résultats sur le genre, sur les changements de normes sociales sont basées sur la masculinité positive sans en tout cas mettre un nom concret sur ça. Et enfin, l'autre point aussi qui est important, c'est que les communautés de bonnes pratiques nous permettent aussi de partager en interne les activités que nous menons dans les différents pays, parce que des fois, nous avons la chance d'avoir plusieurs nationalités lors d'une formation, mais après, avec les groupes WhatsApp et autres, on a la possibilité de voir qui fait quoi, comment il le fait, et de s'encourager, de donner aussi des inputs sur les supports de communication, comment communiquer sans blesser, comment communiquer pour amener le changement. Et là, on a cette possibilité effectivement de contribuer aussi bien en apprenant ce qui se fait de part et d'autre, mais aussi en perfectionnant nos outils de communication, en perfectionnant nos approches et en permettant aussi d'apprendre des uns et des autres, comme je l'ai dit, mais aussi d'accélérer le changement que nous visons, aussi bien dans les communautés, mais aussi au niveau des lois, parce que nous sommes certes dans les communautés, mais en réalité, nous cherchons à influencer au niveau national l'adoption de lois sur les mariages d'enfants, l'acceptation de la loi sur les NGF, et tout cela contribue en apprenant des uns et des autres. Nous gagnons en temps, mais aussi nous gagnons en expérience. Voilà ce que je voulais partager pour le compte du Sénégal. Merci.
Oui, Thérèse, je vous remercie pour le partage. Je ne suis pas sûre que la traduction en anglais a été tout le temps. Donc, je vais juste dire deux, trois mots en anglais sur ce que tu viens de dire, mais Nana, en tout cas, elle a mis dans le chat, disons, les points plus salients de ce que tu viens de partager. So Marie-Thérèse spoke at length at the importance of the work that we've done together and how we grow together in the community of practice and how this helps to improve the work with communities, but also to improve the way in which we influence researchers, but also religious leaders and others. She gave the example of the use of positive masculinity as a specific example. But what really came across was that in being part of the group and being able to share, we feel greater strength and we continue to learn and improve the way we work. Merci encore, Marie-Thérèse, pour le partage.
Merci.
We have, this is a time check, we have 10 minutes left. And so what I would like to do, if you agree, I would like to give Ola, who I think has been patiently waiting, also the floor for a couple of minutes, Ola. And
thank you very much.
I did try to bring out salient points as to a long synthesizing, because I tried to do that as we were going along to highlight some of the key points. And I'd like to, after Ola, probably go directly to Godfrey for some for his wonderful insights as we come to a close. So Ola, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Francesca. And good afternoon, colleagues. I greet you in your first name and your last name. I just want to talk about how we Tostan alumni have been able to work not just within the country, but also across the continent. For my brother from Sierra Leone, we know that the Adolescent Girls Summit is coming up in Liberia at the end of the month of March, and most of the members that are in that planning committee, partners of GFC. But one particular thing is that they have been able to attend the Tostan 10 days training in chefs, and so we see a lot of infusion of Tostan ideologies into the planning of the girls adolescent summit in Liberia. At CYPF is partnering also with some of our girls from our girls movement in Nigeria will be attending that particular program. So across the continent, across the region, you'll see Tostan partners partnering together in the ways of ideologies and also project planning. And also in Nigeria, Godfrey, the training that we have with the directors of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. Unfortunately, the PS was moved to another ministry before we start planning for that intervention in community with Shebu and CPN. But the director of gender that was part of that particular training, I've been supporting them. I can see them also infusing some of the Tostan methodology into their planning and also into their interventions when it comes to addressing the gender-based violence at the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. And lastly, I just want to talk about the increased publicity that Tostan is receiving in Nigeria. About 2, 3, 4 years ago, we can count with the numbers of our two hands the number of members that are not members of NACIPA that have attended the Tostan training. But right now, you can't even count with 10, 20 fingers the number of CSOs that have attended the Tostan training in chess. And this was because there was a time that we have religious groups and also CSOs coming together. And by that time, we had 3 members of GFC partners in Nigeria, myself, Betty, that is on this particular call, and my sister Van from Jos attend with the religious leaders. So we'll be seeing a lot of collaboration and partnership with CSOs in Nigeria and also religious networks and also platforms. And also, lastly, some of the networks that are working on the area of gender-based violence in Nigeria have increased partnership because we now have a common ground, which is Tostan. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ola. I think you've given even wonderful additional examples of how the participation in the seminars by various organizations who were in some ways already connected has strengthened those connections, strengthened their work with communities, and that is the best accomplishment that we can have and that we must continue to do. Because ultimately, of course, it's not about, for us anyway at Tostan, it's what's important isn't that Tostan become well known, but that there is an increased understanding and capacity to apply an approach that really puts dignity for all at the center, that is respectful to communities, that really supports and accompanies communities as they lead their own development. And it's scaling that approach across as many communities as possible, so that the results in terms of community well-being are the greatest. That is, of course, the goal that all of us share. So thank you so much. And wonderful to hear that the excitement, the collaboration, the common approach is growing and becoming stronger. With that, can I pass it over? Godfrey, are you there? Can I pass it over to you?
Yeah, Amir, Francesca, thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you very much, everyone, for taking your time to participate in this amazing call. I have been listening from a distance, and to be honest, I'm really inspired that our dream of having a community of practice is actually, coming to life now. And this is what we've always wanted as Tostan, because as all of you know that at Tostan, we believe in scaling community well-being. Sometimes people think we scale the Tostan model, we just share the Tostan model, but we care about the communities. And that is why with you guys, we trust the process that soon people will really acknowledge that there's a better way of doing development. And as all of you mentioned, it is important for us to continue working together. And I think that has really come out strongly from what every presenter has said, and also to learn better on how to share. Like we always say also at Tostan that everything evolves. We are talking about a 3-year program that sometimes we share with you for 10 days, 5 days, 3 weeks. Those are not enough for us to share everything. But one thing that we've learned is that every time we have these sessions with you guys, we really identify new ways of even sharing better. And that is why some of you who have been able to participate in some of our seminars of late have realized that there's more content that we are adding onto the seminars. And that is kudos to all of you, because we couldn't have done better if we couldn't have accepted your feedback. So your feedback and your insights are really critical in this learning journey experience. So we totally love you all. We believe in you. And we really appreciate you taking your time. And I'm very happy to see people from far away, Nubra, even outside African continent joining this call. That shows the commitment to this learning process. So we need to continue this learning process. And myself, Molly, and the entire training team, and Nana and Francesca, we are available anytime. Please reach out to us. Anytime you want to do something, reach out to us, and we'll always be there with you to co-create something that can really support scaling community well-being. With those few remarks, allow me to turn it back to Francesca. Over to you, Francesca. Thank you.
Many thanks, Godfrey, and congratulations to you, Wanjiro, and the whole team for the SHOFCO seminars, which bridges countries from the east side of Africa to the west side of Africa and vice versa. So it's wonderful. We are exactly on time. Amazing, amazing. Covered a tremendous amount of ground. I'm really enthused and enthusiastic about everything that I'm hearing and the prospects for 2024 continued collaboration. We haven't had the opportunity to delve very specifically into working together on the theme that is set out as a priority theme for 2024. But I think we have re-galvanized our connection, and we will definitely collaborate on that theme in particular during the course of the year. I will pass it back to Nana. But before passing it back, again, from the deep of my heart, so many thanks, huge thanks to all of you for being such a powerful and inspiring and motivating group. You're wonderful. Over to you, Nana.
Thank you very much, Francesca. Thank you to everyone who has joined. Thank you, especially Nubraj. It's good to see you all the way from Nepal. Like, considering the time difference and all of that, I appreciate you being able to join. If you check in the chat, if you missed anything, we were, putting some information in the chat. The advisory group during their meeting, which I put the minutes in the chat, we might be reaching out because there is some vacancy in the advisory group, and we would discuss internally on how to fill it out. It would also be filled out using the previous method of recruitment evaluation and all peer evaluation and all of that. So don't be surprised and be on the lookout in your inbox. There are working groups. The essence of these working groups is to have smaller groups that would engage people better, so that if you're not comfortable having conversations, discussing your challenges in larger groups, this is an opportunity to discuss, share, learn in smaller groups that are more thematically focused. You can join as many groups as you want to, and the groups are peer-led. They're not led by docent. They're peer-led groups. They're peer learning groups. So we would send out an email on how you can organize in each of the groups, so that you can just join, participate, ask questions, read through previous conversations and all of that. And as usual, we would be having, so this is an opportunity to invite everyone to the next community call, which will be different from this one, which was more like a strategy sharing session. The next community call will be with Molly. Molly will be hosting the next community call. It is your opportunity, please and please, when I send out the agenda and the proposal, read through it, because you have to come prepared. You're getting Molly. So the next community call is going to be hosted by Molly in March. It's going to be same time, last Thursday of the month in March. So be prepared for that. And I want to really thoroughly thank you all for coming. And I want to especially thank Francesca. Francesca is amazing, the amount of support that she offers, language, structure, drafting, hosting, you just name it, right? I'm very grateful that she's always able to offer her time to us, even though not obligated, but she's always kind enough to support at each and every given time. I'm very grateful to you, Francesca. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone who took the time to share. Thank you, Mr. Nathaniel, because Mr. Nathaniel has been with us all through on the phone, right? So he has been here just listening in and taking in all the lessons. One of the big things that stood out for me is that we have seen that through our sharing and our learning, we have strengthened connections, and these strengthened connections is transcending national levels and going regional levels. So that's a very big deal for us. And the idea is that this year we're able to build on that and further strengthen the work that we're doing, so that we can support people who need support in understanding how to cascade what they are learning to other people, and also how to cascade it within their organization, outside their organization, so we can all, be one big happy family. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you again, same time next month. And we will share the recording, so that anyone who missed out or anyone who missed something that they want to take in would get it. And beyond the video, we will also share a short note that would have some of the highlights, some of the lessons, and some of the issues. So those insights will be presented in a readable format, so that you'll be able to refer to it at any time. Thank you very much. Feel free we want to take a picture. Who's available for pictures? I'm here. Who's available for pictures? I want the gallery. Pictures. We need to take pictures. Turn on your cameras, turn on your microphone. Hi, John Mariam, I didn't see you, sis. Turn on your camera. cameras. I want to see all your beautiful, wonderful faces. It's so good to see you all. Okay, all right. I'm ready to take my screenshot. Oh, there is more. Hi, Fatima. How's our baby? Where's our well-being baby? Hi, Lassie. Good to see you. Did chat disappear? Okay. All right. I'm taking, give me your best smile. See my, okay, best smile. Okay, oh, I got the faces. Yes. Let me try a second one. Yeah, second one. Madam Aji, good to see you. So I have taken a lovely picture. Hi, Godfrey. Thank you always. Thank you, Godfrey, for being one of the most supportive people I know. Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you, Molly, for coming.
Thank you, Nana.
Thank you, Nana.
Hi, Molly.
Mariam.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care, Molly.
Miss you all. Oh.
Bye.
Bye, Francesca. Nana,
Bye,
great
bye.
work.
Bye.
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 Godfrey, please call me. Let's talk.
Okay, caller, I'll call you. Cool.
Okay.
Nice to see everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.